Alien. What more can be said by a YouTuber about this movie that hasn't already been said on this platform? I don't know, but I'm not here to break new ground. I just want to talk about my second favorite movie. So Alien was released on May 25th, 1979 in the US, and it was directed by Ridley Scott and written by Dan O'Bannon. Alien was an attempt by Fox to create something that would profit off of the backs of their already highly profitable Star Wars. They were so focused on profits that H.R. Geiger, H.P. Lovecraft, he was almost not brought onto the production. Now, if that means nothing to you, he designed the alien itself and the derelict spaceship on LV-426, which are critical to the mythos of the Alien franchise. If it was not obvious, I was not old enough to see Alien in the theaters when it released. But growing up, the Alien movie was always a mainstay in my home as a child. This movie, alongside The Thing and It, completely traumatized me, but it planted the seeds for my love of horror. And as I said in my Alien Isolation review, I love this movie, and I love it more than the others. Like, it's just good, period. So today, in this review, I'd like to talk about my favorite aspects of the movie. And yeah, sure, there are tons and tons of ways to read the movie, but today I'm just going to go over how I interpret the movie and how I view it, and, you know, discuss the lens at which I view the entire movie through. And I'm not going to analyze and scrutinize every little detail and, you know, deep dive into the more grandiose subtext. I mean, I'm sure the runtime gave that away. I don't got time for that. This is my first movie review, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, as I just said, this is my first film review, and honestly, I'm terrified of doing this. The lore of this series is just, it's so vast, and I don't want to miss anything and make anyone upset because I'm not talking about this or I'm not talking about that, or why don't you like this thing? It's like, this is my review. This is about my experience with the media, not about your experience with the media. You can tell me about your experience. In fact, I welcome it. Tell me about your experience with the movie down below in the comments. That would be great. You know, I'd like to watch it through the lens that you watch it through. I think that would be really cool. It's a really great way to experience new things about a movie, you know, and to go watch the movie with a different mindset. That would be awesome. Give me a new mindset to watch this movie through. Do it. While you're down there, leaving a comment, you know, telling me about the way you watch the movie. Hit that subscribe button for me. You know, give me a little confidence boost. I'm nervous as hell right now. If you can't tell by the rambling, if you're not going to tell me about your interpretation, at least, you know, maybe say this isn't the worst thing you've ever seen. You know, that'd be really great. That'd be really cool. You know, I'm not one of the Paul brothers or Fine Bros React, so it's got to be, you know, the bar is really low for YouTubers to make decent content. You know what I'm saying? Tell me I'm not bad. Please tell me I'm good. Please tell me I'm good.
Tell me, please, Diane, tell me that I'm good.
Anyway, lastly, hit the thumbs up. Tell the algo and me you'd like to see more of this, because I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do this again. I got the Thing game coming up. If you want to see a Thing review, like if you're interested in this and you want to see me do a review of the Thing, smash that like button, smash the sub button. You know, show me that this is as valuable as my game reviews. I wouldn't mind talking about the Thing, maybe. So, it goes without saying that beyond this point are spoilers. So, if you haven't seen Alien, go watch it right now. Just go. At this time, you can watch it with a Hulu subscription. Not that I advocate for that. You can also find it on DVD as low as $10 USD, and if you can't find it for $10, just go to Walmart, throw it in the $5 bin, and tell the cash register person, yes, I found this in the bin for $5, but make sure you put more than one Alien movie in the bin. Otherwise, like, you're just gonna look at the Alien DVD in your hand and the Alien DVD on the shelf and be like, you just put that in the bin. You know, put all the Alien movies in the bin. It'll work out that way for you. Also, check the Internet Archive if you want to, I don't know, watch it for free. The Internet Archive is a great repository for all things digital. You can find games on there. You can find books. You can find movies. You can find old software. You know, abandonware. I am not sponsored by the Internet Archive, so I'm not sure if they do, but I welcome it. I am an Internet Archive advocate. I'm going to give everyone a couple of moments. If you don't want spoilers on a 45-year-old movie, now is your chance to skip off and go, you know, again, find Alien, go watch Alien. This is your chance to go watch Alien. Go watch Alien. And if you don't care about spoilers, welcome to my review of Alien. If you are unfamiliar with the phrase suspension of disbelief, it is basically just immersion for movies. It's how much of your critical thinking you are able to put aside to put yourself into the world of the movie and the characters. It is accepting the impossible, no matter how it defies your own reality. And it's honestly just a really great concept. Now for Alien, it is incredibly easy to suspend your disbelief. The world is so carefully crafted and so detailed that despite the movie existing in a world that we are wholly unfamiliar with, we can accept it for what it is. In the opening scene, you can see the internal mechanisms for the ship, and with no explanation whatsoever, we can understand what those things are, what we're seeing, and what they might be used for. The world is foreign, yes, but it runs on similar rules as our own, and those rules are consistent with our own. Now, everything in Alien is pretty well grounded in reality. The crew stumbled upon a derelict spaceship, and it's all like, yeah, that's cool, it's believable. They're part of a Type 2 civilization, so running into alien technology is bound to happen, and it probably seems kind of mundane at this point. Even the first encounter with the alien is pretty believable. Like, yeah, why wouldn't a hostile life form be in that egg, and it's kind of parasitic and hasn't killed its host yet? Yeah, man, totally. It's an alien. And the chest burster scene is just as grounded, like, despite, you know, being what it is. Like, why would anyone be concerned with the potential side effects of Kane just waking up after the facehugger detaches? None of these people are doctors, and the one that is a doctor just straight up doesn't care. We don't know it yet, but, you know, he was following the orders to the letter regarding the facehugger incident. The only thing I've really struggled with over the years with Alien is how the xenomorph grew to its size in such a short time. It went from being the size of a fully grown Chinese water dragon to being larger than a human in what seems like less than a day. And you know, I've looked up stuff, and there's tons of theories on this, but I'm gonna go over a few of my favorites and the ones that I personally accept to be, like, you know, correct. So it's speculated that the Xeno are silicone-based life forms. For context, we We are carbon-based, and we consume various carbon-based energy sources to grow and sustain ourselves. You know, like the meats we eat, the vegetables, the fruit, like everything we consume is carbon-based. I mean, with the exception of water being, you know, hydrogen, true oxygen. You know, that's a whole other story. It's basically just a lubricant for our bones. The Xeno, however, has a far more advanced biology, so it seems to be able to eat anything. And it's speculated that it eats shit parts to gain the biomass it needs to grow. It can metabolize it. I don't understand how. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not a biologist. I'm not, especially not a xenobiologist. Additionally, in some deleted scenes, it's discovered that the Xeno found its way into their food stores and completely decimated it, which is also a potential source for its biomass. Another theory that I found while investigating this is that in this stage of the xenomorph's life in the alien mythos, the Xeno is basically like an insect. It was only meant to live for a few days where it grows and rapidly reproduces, then dies. All this was meant to occur over the course of just a few short days. So by the end of the movie, when the Xeno's on the shuttle and, you know, it's hiding in the wall with Ripley, it's there because it's trying to die peacefully and safely, where it's assumed that it would turn into like maybe an egg sac or cocoon. I don't know. You know, I'm not Ridley Scott and Dan O'Bannon. Maybe we should ask them. Obviously, all of this is speculation. I'm not about to go watch the 20 million hours of behind-the-scene content just to find an answer to this. That is preposterous. We shouldn't have to do that. I appreciate that, you know, the community just openly discusses this stuff. I don't need to be told by the director, oh, this is why. Like, I'd rather, like, you know, talk to you guys out there in the comment section about why things are the way they are. I think that's pretty cool. I just think these things are neat. That's why I want to talk about them. Later in the film, it is revealed that the ship's AI was given orders by the company that contracted the Nostromo, Weyland-Yutani, that it is meant to protect the life form by any means necessary. And then moments later, it's revealed that Ash, the ship's science officer, is a synthetic who was put there to protect assets of Weyland-Yutani. You know, kind of like a corporate spy. You know. But they didn't know. They didn't know he was like a, you know, they didn't know he was a robot man, you know what I'm saying? And it turns out he and the ship's AI have been sabotaging and undermining the efforts of the crew to contain the life form and keep it safe. In both of these moments, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm down. Totally, that makes sense. And honestly, it's a really great reveal, and it's super relevant to my perceived themes of the movie. To suspend your disbelief and immerse yourself into the world of Alien is as easy as breathing, in my opinion. The world is just so carefully crafted. It's just hard to not just dive right in. And something like the Xeno could exist in our world, and it just feels real. And it's a real shame that more movies don't invest this much time into their world building that Ridley Scott had. It's a real shame. So, the story of Alien, in my opinion, is just superb. At face value, it's a story of man versus nature, but in my opinion, it's man versus man. And then it happens to be a subplot about surviving a careless killing machine. So to say, it's about capitalism. Surprise! It's about how megacorporations are just as cold and careless as the xenomorph. At face, the story is simple. A small tugboat crew is awoken from hypersleep or stasis in order to investigate a signal of unknown origin. Some of the crew protest, and they are informed that it is in their contract to investigate things of these nature. Failure to do so means forfeiture of all profit shares of the job. So they travel down to the planet, aptly named LV-426, and discover a derelict spaceship. Derelict. Inside, they discover alien technology and multiple alien life forms, one of which is already dead, which is the space jockey. The other life form, it turns out to be, is very hostile and has just attached itself to the crew's executive officer, Kane. Now, after a few days, Kane wakes up just fine, and the no longer dormant Xeno nymph emerges from his chest in one of the most iconic scenes in cinema. And the rest of the film is just the crew trying to survive and kill it before it kills them. All the while, the ship's AI and the ship's science officer, Ash, are actively working against them to the benefit of the Xeno. It turns out, Weyland-Yutani ordered the ship's AI and Ash to ensure the Xeno's survival by all means necessary. All other conditions secondary. Crew expendable. The remaining crew at this point discover this and manage to kill Ash and begin preparations for scuttling the ship. Eventually, after the Xeno hunts down every other crew member, Ripley escapes with Jonesy, the ship's cat. It's adorable. Look at this cat back here. That's the cat. That's Jonesy. And she manages to do this moments before the self-destruct sequence activates, where she then finds that the Xeno is currently resting and hiding in a wall on her little escape module, and promptly spaces it. Her and Jonesy enter stasis, and they slowly drift into occupied space, waiting and hoping to be picked up and rescued. The end. Now, again, at face value, the movie is just about survival against a hostile life form, and it's a fair take. But for me, it's about how capitalism is literally willing to shove us into a meat grinder to secure profits for shareholders for corporations. Weyland-Yutani were more than willing and happy to sacrifice the crew of the Nostromo for them to gain access to the Xenomorph. The Xeno is an uncaring killing machine following its most basest instincts. It does not seemingly have a moral structures. Humans, however, do. So when Weyland-Yutani decided the life of the Xeno was more valuable than the crew, they revealed themselves as the true antagonist and villain of the film. The Xeno is just an animal trying to survive just as much as the crew are. Not that I'm siding with the Xeno in any form. I would not want to be trapped on a ship with this thing. I would be actively trying to kill it myself. I mean, straight up, it's me or it. It's probably going to be me because I'm not the perfect organism. The Xeno is seemingly incapable of reasoning and therefore incapable of being evil. But the corporate executives, they acted with intent. They chose to be evil. They chose to pull the trigger, which killed the crew of the Nostromo. Just as corporations in our world pull the triggers that often kill and harm us. They know what they're doing is evil. But all that matters is the bottom line. And when they are caught, they wield so much power that they just pay a fine, and they use their power to manipulate our government. So when they're caught doing horrific acts, they effectively slap themselves on the wrist. So, as early as the 1950s, all the way through to the early 2000s, the Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company, who is now known as 3M, openly disposed of per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS for short, which is what we're going to call them because that is a fucking mouthful, at 4 dumping sites in Minnesota. These sites were mostly dumping into unlined pits, so PFAS could easily find its way into local water tables and wells. These chemicals were produced as a waste product to stuff like Scotchgard, And by the 70s, it was widely accepted that PFAS were dangerous and caused a tremendous number of health problems for those that came in contact with it unprotected. Now, in 2018, 3M settled with the state of Minnesota for the poisoning of the groundwater of 170,000 residents in the Twin Cities. Communities affected by the contamination are still plagued with cancer and various birth defects. Now, it is unclear how many people are actually affected by this incident in the long term. It is impossible to quantify the death toll of this negligence because we can't know. But people are dying because 3M wanted to save a buck or two. 3M willingly and knowingly poisoned communities in the Twin City just to save a buck on proper disposal. In 2018, 3M paid out $850 million to the citizens of the Twin Cities and the state of Minnesota. In 2018, 3M brought in $32.8 billion just from sales and paid out $8.1 billion to their shareholders. 3M, to this day, still produces PFAS. However, it's far more heavily regulated, for 3M at least. So what does this have to do with Alien? Well, what Weyland-Yutani did to secure the life form was hardly an extreme measure on the company's part. Using our own corporations as a mirror, we can easily assume they'd have gone to any lengths to secure that life form. And the worst thing that would happen to them would be a lawsuit. And they would likely just pay less than 5% of their yearly earnings to make the problem go away. And in Weyland-Yutani's case with the Nostromo, they got away with it. Moral of the story? Corporations do not care about you. Much like their real-world analog, Weyland-Yutani would be happy to sacrifice entire communities to secure what they declare as their due profits. I mean, they founded a terraforming colony on LV-426 35 years after the Nostromo's disappearance and 64 years after the Prometheus landed on LV-223. They knew something was out there, and they would stop at nothing to find it. Alien is scary. Period. End of story. That's it. That's the video right there. Alien is scary. The movie opens up on the empty halls and rooms of the Nostromo. Now, in this moment, it is made clear to the audience, us, that whatever happens here, there is no help. All there is a crew of 7 floating in the vast emptiness of space. They are isolated from any means of outside help in case of an accident. The halls are narrow and dark, and there's plenty of spaces where the shadows can and will play tricks on you. So when the Xeno is introduced fully grown in the cargo area, we can finally see the breadth of this movie's horror. As fast as Brett realizes he's been targeted by the Xeno, he's dead. It's gone. And we can see how strong and how fast the Xeno is when it takes Brett, kills him, and pulls him up into the air duct, like on the fucking roof. It's stronger and it's faster than any of the crew could ever dream to be. And one by one, it picks them off. No one and nowhere is safe. And the crew are constantly being hunted. Now, the design of the Xeno itself is also horrifying, as long as you keep it in a properly lit room. But that's the magic of cinema. Despite it looking goofy on set, it's absolutely terrifying to behold on screen. It's horrifying. The first time I saw it, like, Jesus Christ. Jeez, dude, I was fucking scared as a little kid, you know? I was terrified. Now, on the other hand, the motivations of Weyland-Yutani are downright terrifying as well. These guys were just on a job, and the company decided that their lives were far less valuable than acquiring whatever they found on LV-426. You could easily be on a job, and your boss could put you in an unsafe and dire work condition just because it saves $1 or $2. They don't care. Knowing that we are seen as insects by these corporate giants is absolutely terrifying. They don't hurt us because they hate us. They do it because they do not care. They don't care about us. They do not regard us at all. And that is far more terrifying than being a target. So, Alien. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Alien is well worth your time, and it is the second best horror film ever made. Second best. Let's make that clear. It is the second best horror film ever made, and I cannot recommend it enough. It is a phenomenal experience from start to finish. Between the horrifying Xeno and the uncaring Weyland-Yutani, there is plenty scary here for everybody. So, this is my first movie review, and I honestly, I really didn't know what to do with it. You know, with video games, like all of this came natural. You know, I knew what to say. I knew how I wanted to format it. I don't know, man. Movies are different. Maybe it's just this one. You know, the vast amount of information surrounding this series. It's kind of intimidating. And I don't want to risk the ire of the community over something as simple as a superficial mistake. Like, this is all just, this is my opinion. Nothing here is like fact. Go watch the movie, you know, get your own interpretation. This is my interpretation. I'm just telling you my interpretation of the movie, which is factually correct in every which way. And if I'm wrong, just tell me down below in the comments. But here it is. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I'll ever do this again. Movie reviews, I mean, not reviews. I'm not sure if I'll ever do another movie review. I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see how this one does to make a decision. You know, I have some ideas in mind for like future. I'm playing The Thing and one game. Like after the next game I'm playing as Resident Evil, then it's The Thing. So, you know, maybe I'll do a thing compendium, because, you know, it's technically a sequel to the game. You know, it would make sense to talk about the original. Maybe I'll just talk about it in the video. You know, let me know what you guys think. And, you know, you got about a month from the filming of this to just, you know, let me know if y'all want more movie reviews. I don't know if I'm going to do this again. It's really just it. I don't know if I'm going to do this again. So, welcome to the end of the video. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed yet, why not hit the button? It's free, and I upload pretty consistently. Plus, YouTube won't give me any of that sweet Google money if you don't. Maybe leave a comment. You know, tell me your favorite horror film. If enough comments appear, I will tell you my favorite horror film, and I'll pin it in the post down below. Or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if you're interested in my video game reviews, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch. The link for that can be found below. I also have a Patreon and like a bunch of other social media links down below. So find one you like and, you know, follow me there. I don't update it as frequently as I'd like to, just because I'm still new. I'm still getting new to this, still getting the swing of it, you know. I don't really have anything else for you, really. So yeah, that's it. That's the video. Slosh out.